strength work. Okay. There's lots of mornings you're just like, no, not today. And that's fine. However, if you don't override that and ease into it and do some real strength work, you're not going to get stronger, period. So here we go. All right. So you might see 3 dogs running around here because that's what I have. I have 2 reds here, red Bostons, and I have a black Boston. Yeah, I've got my daughter's dog. Okay, see what I'm doing? First thing, put on my gloves. That's number 1. Okay, and you just don't feel it. Listen, pick up anything in your hand. A lot of you like to use bars. That's fine. Hang on to a bar and do some of these moves with a bar. I picked up a weighted ball because I want to usher myself into some real strength work. So I'm going to pick up a weighted ball. It could be 2 pounds. It could be 4 pounds. This one happens to be 6. Okay? This is a great thing to hang on to when you're trying to do some strength work, because your bones, your joints, do you see this? That little move right there, as I'm walking forward and back, trying to dodge my dog, that right there, that takes, I don't know, it would be a whole bunch of computer paper to go through the interactions required for that. See that? So I'm tossing a 6-pound little ball gently. I'm just tossing it from one hand to the other. You see that? At the same time, what I have to do, see, I'm putting it on my hands like this. See, I'm going from there to there. See that? So I actually want to keep my elbows down here and I give it a toss. See this? This is huge. This. You actually get it in the air. Keep your hands down. Keep your elbows here. See this? This is so much different than this. See, I'm not, and now if you have to, just go like this because of a hand issue, because of whatever, that is fine. You're still getting a great readout by doing this. See, that's fine. But when you go to toss it, let it have airborne and let it come right down. I'm just saying there's 2 or 3 different ways to do this. You can do this, which is just a transfer, which still takes a lot of body awareness in my shoulders, in my spine. See, just to do that. But when you start to do a little with your whole body, you go down, you lower your center, I lower my center of gravity, and then I give it a heave-ho. I actually let it be airborne. And you're seeing it out of your eyes. You're feeling it as it comes over there. And in order to do this and keep your elbows down, you gotta feel the elbows down here. See that? See that? Like that. Yeah. And I can guarantee you that if you even have a 4-pound weighted ball and you do a full body launch, like I'm doing right here, for even 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to start breathing deeper. Your muscles are going to be like, oh man, let's get prepared. Take a breath. See, it's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 toss. 1, 2, 3 toss. Big breath. In through the nose. Big breath. 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 Keep your shoulders down. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. See my knees? See, I'm lowering my center of gravity by pushing into the heels. But I'm saying rib cage up. So I'm doing a toss and 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 a toss. And I can tell you, you're going to start feeling warm when you do that kind of shoving, that kind of letting it get airborne, and you're doing this. So there's a lot of us that have knee and hip issues. I'm going to turn this down so you can see what I'm doing with my legs. That we can't go jumping around. We can't do, so to speak, jumping jacks, but we can do this. So put your feet correct. What's correct? Shoulder width at least. When you do this little bit of it's like a posting, horseback riding. I used to have Nancy, she was an equestrian. Nancy, she was a sister of Marianne. Anyway, see this? Those of you that have knee issues, hip issues, I'm telling you, when you're doing this all in your own house, everything, I don't care what it looks like. There is a lot of great value in this kind of motion, okay? And so put it into practice. Then I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to start reaching for it and back. Now, when I reach for it and back, what do I want to do? I got to drop my shoulders. Number one, I got to come back here and drop it into my hands, bring it around, and I see I'm turning constantly. See that? So I'm turning. I bring it right here. I don't have to go fast. I'm bringing it around, bringing it around, bringing it around. See that? Take a breath. In through the nose. Yes. Yes. Now we can start doing some ambulation. See, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take it back here. Then I'm going to go the other way. And here's the whole deal. If you have wonky shoulders, just like wonky hips, okay, you can't go so fast. Just slow it down. And do you see how I have my hand? Do you see how I have my hand like this? And I'm reaching and I'm opening the shoulders, dropping it into that hand, bringing it back. Big breath. Yeah. Now I'm going to act like I'm going to slam the ball right down into the floor, even though I'm not going to, because then it might bust it open. And this is a weighted ball. It has sand in it. Okay, so I'm going to go like I'm going to slam it. And then I'm going to come right here to my sternum, right here. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm squeezing the ball. So even if you have thumb issues, hand issues, whatever, put your hands around that, squeeze it with your fingertips, drop your shoulders, and then act like you're going to heave ho, but then you don't throw it out of your hands. Then you go like that again. So every time I do this, I'm going to go into my what? So that I don't flex my back. I'm going to throw it with intensity, but I'm going to push into my heels. That is imperative. And if you can do this kind of motion, like you're trying to really throw with power, you can do this about 20 times pretty regularly. And so if you had a basketball and a tree or a fence in front of you that could take it, well, yeah, throw it to the fence and coming back in. But when you throw it and you scoop down, don't lose it here. So many of you are going to be doing this. You're going to throw it hard, and then you're going to keep your butt up, and you're going to go down. That is not what I'm doing. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin, breath. throw, and then come down like you're gonna throw it. And then come to the sternum. So when you tap the sternum right here, drop your shoulders. Big breath, here we go. And when you throw it hard, get down into the heels. Take a big breath, don't go fast. Throw all the way down and come back. And throw all the way down into the heels and come back. Take a breath, drop your shoulders. And come back. Okay, 3 more. Just do them with me. Just say, I'm gonna do them. And then right now, I want you to really throw it. Now really take your butt down. Okay, 1 more. Throw it. Was that 3? Okay, 1 more. And come back. Okay. Now I want you to try to do a little different thing. And I think Nancy's on there. I want you to come from here, and I want you to toss it up with one hand, toss it up and catch with both, okay? Why am I having you do this? Because this is indicative of helping you train your reactivity. So reactivity is multi-faceted. We can do it with the arms, we can do it with the legs. That's what you do when you kick a ball repeatedly. Well, I'm gonna take a weighted ball. I'm gonna throw with one hand. Okay, look. One hand goes up and then I catch it down. See that? Then I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna go one up, catch it down. Okay? This move is very different than this move. Okay? So I'm gonna come down, load. I'm coming up, throwing, catching down. Throwing, catching down. Throwing, catching down. And when I catch it down, 6 pounds coming down, you have to be ready. So what does that mean? What does ready mean? It means dropping your shoulders. It means stepping wide. It means getting ready to push that butt back when you receive that ball. So it's helping you get better at a thing called reactivity. So nothing is better than a ball work to do that. Only when you had joints replaced and you have arthritis and you have osteoporosis issues, you quit bouncing the ball, if you know what I mean. So this is a way of getting some of the benefits of reactivity without the movements that is very problematic for those of us with all those issues. Now put that ball right here. See this? Put that ball right here and go up like that, just like that. Bring the other one up. Don't throw it. Transfer it. Now, right now, as you walk back, you're bringing it down, okay? So this is a 6-pound ball. I'm emulating. I'm going up with one hand, bringing it down with the other. As I do this, as the thing comes up over the head, I'm going to be very mindful of how I'm feeling in my shoulders, in my wrist, in my elbow. But primarily here, I would be looking at shoulders. Now I want you to look at something. See, when I'm coming up, most of you think that you're doing exactly what I'm doing, but you know what some of you are doing? You're coming up, but instead of making the transfer here, you don't realize it, but you're making the transfer out here. Or you're going like this and trying to look and see what you're doing. I don't want you to look. I want you to drop your chin. You're going to shove the ball up. And when you make the transfer, It literally could drop on your head. Yeah, that's what I want your awareness to be about, okay? So it's like this. Don't look up and bring her down. Do it one more time. See, I'm moving front to back. Just meandering. See this? It's right over my head. And then I move back. And I move back. Now I'm ready to do a figure 8. Now I'm going to go wide. But before I do the move, I'm going to put this 6-pound weight right here at my belly button. See that? So it's right in here. I'm going to step wide. I'm going to rotate. And so if you have a stiff hip, if you have a tight hip, there are some moves that's going to really get you. So what I need you to do is notate that. So right now we're doing a pretty innocuous move. It's not going to be very problematic because I have the 6-pound weight right here in my belly button. I'm hanging on to it. When I go to the side, I'm not going very far, but I want to push my butt back as I go down. Look at your toes. Some of you have your toes heading out. I want them to be pretty much forward, okay? Because I want that ankle to be involved. And you see how I'm just pushing my butt back and coming down? Just until I start to feel a little stretch right here in the groin. Drop your shoulders, take a breath. You come down just until you barely start to feel this. Some of you need to step a little wider. Some of you can come just a little lower. Yeah, take a breath. Take a breath. Come down there. Rotate. So we're not putting pressure on the joint, so to speak. We're not jumping on the joint, but we are moving into an outward region of the hip needs to move. See, I'm going to keep this ball right here. It's only 6 pounds, but it's 6 pounds. And that's right in the middle. Take a big deep breath. Take the time to do these. Anywhere between 6 and 10 repetitions is about enough to start that anti-tightness, to move you away from tight hip. Okay? So it's just like that. Then you come up, and see, when you're coming up, you're using this leg right here to get yourself up. So you're putting that little bit of load right there and come up. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. You're coming back up. You're dropping. And then you're coming back up. And you're dropping. And you're coming back up. And after doing that with just a little bit of weight here, your hips should start feeling a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to put the ball down. All right. And now I'm going to just hold on to my counter. So if you don't have a counter, if you don't have a bed post or a wall, you put your hand on a chair, which will be just perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I'll do it from my chair since most of you have chairs where we're doing this. It's a little different. I'm prepping you. Are you ready? I'm going to bring that leg up. I'm going to swing it back. And when I swing it back, I want to, on purpose, I can bring it here, but when I come back here, everybody, almost verbatim, will go like that. And it'll go back. I don't want you to do that. What do I want you to do? I want you to come here. I want you to soften this knee. Do not lock it. I'm pushing down. I'm not pulling or pushing anywhere. I'm pushing down on this just for a little stability. So I come up and I go into the back, whole leg lift. My toe is pointed down or it's pointed into the instep. Then I'm going to come to the center and go out here as far as I can with my toe pointing out. I'm going to hang out here for a bit. I'm going to come back. And then I'm going to bring it up again, right here. Knee comes right here where the hip creases. Come down. Here we go. Turn that toe in. And it goes back. And you stay lifted. Rib cage up. Drop your shoulders. Rib cage up. Drop your shoulders. Come back. And go out to the side. Take a big deep breath. And come in. Yay. I'm going to turn around. Do the same thing. So here we go. I'm going to go up. Then I'm going to swing that leg back. I'm going to say rib cage up, turn the toe in, and I'm going to go up as far as I can. And then I'm going to come to center and go out with my knee that's holding me soft right there. Make sure your toe is turned forward or in. And then come back to center. Take a big breath. Here we go. Up. Swing it. Come back and lift. Rib cage up. And then come back to center and then go out. Turn that toe in. Breath. In, breath, in, breath, in, breath. And come in. One more time. Here we go. Up. All the way. Bring it down. Pull that toe forward, rib cage up, and then go out with it. All the way out. Okay? Yay. Now I want you to just take stock. Just do a little 1, 2, 3 walk and just feel if that is an easier walk than what you did at the very beginning of class when you were still waking up and getting a little bit of tightness out of there. Okay, here's my little famous pad. We're going to use it on the floor again first. Then I'm going to put it to the chair. Okay? So before we go into that, I want you to just bring your hands into a W. Okay? If you can't think of anything else and you're feeling tight in your shoulders, whatever, just think, let me hit my W. Let me hit my T. Let me do palms down. Let me do palms up. And maybe I'm going to do it several times. And I'm going to soften my knees. Then I'm going to go up in a Y. See, I'm not going to go all the way up over my head. I'm going to go to a Y. And right here is where you want to pretend I'm behind you. And I just put my hands on your shoulders. Drop the shoulders. Take a big breath. Go back into your W. Okie dokie. After you've done that, then you're going to turn your palms down, rotate them, and go all the way back. And you're going to try to touch your thumbs together. Okay? With your arms pretty straight. So drop your shoulders. Shoulder blades come in. And you're trying to touch your thumbs. And hang out here for just a little bit. See, I'm just touching my thumbs right there. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Take a breath. And then bring them back and rotate them out. Yay. Okay, we've done a lot of warming up. I'm going to step here. I'm going to step off. Then I'm going to go back to that foot that's on the pillow and back down. Now, for some of us, that can be a little scary. I'm not kidding you. It has a lot to do with what proprioception. It has to do with your injuries. It has to do with your pain levels, all of that. But when you're stepping on a spongy surface and then you step off and then I asked you to go back. So you got to drop your shoulders. You cannot jerk. That will hurt your back. But you're going to slide. You're going to slide back into that foot that's on the pillow and then take it off the back end. Okay? So this kind of a little exercise right here, you can tap, then step down. You don't have to step wide. Just drop your shoulders, take your breath, tighten, tighten, slide back, and then put the foot down. So see that whole maneuver. You have to, so we'll stand up here again and we'll do it on the other foot. So if you can't think of anything else to do, if you can't remember anything, try to remember, just put your pillow in the floor. You're going to stand here on the pillow. You're going to feel the sponginess, like go all different ways with your ankles. See how I'm moving side to side? I'm moving into my toes. I'm moving into my heels. By just doing that, your proprioceptive centers that have to do with your muscles, it has to do with your joint, it has to do with your sight, it has to do with your hearing, how you feel. They're all getting heightened just by going side to side with your ankles, keeping your tummy tight, keeping your shoulders down, then move into your toe, knees bent, move into your heels. Okay, just do that. Now take that opposite foot. So for me, it's going to be this one. So I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to come here and go back. And then I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to step off. Then I'm going to step on. Then I'm going to go back. So if you can't think of anything else to do 5 minutes. Listen to something, watch something, but really think, how am I stepping? How are my feet and my ankles really feeling where I'm at? Because see, it's going to be especially challenging stepping on this pad, this simple little pad, because it's spongy. It's going to throw you. The minute you go to one for a split second, coming off and coming on the pad, your ankle is by itself. Okay, there's huge value in this. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other one. I'm going to step off. I'm going to step back on. And see, if I asked you to hold it in mid-step, like right there, whoa, then I get your attention. See, I'm going to step, but I'm going to hold it as I'm coming down. Okay, that's a whole different ball of wax. So I'm just telling you, if you want your feet and ankles and your lower body to work better, go through this little stepping pattern. If you just do the front and back, that's fine. Then if you go to stepping to the side, that's a whole nother range. See, it's a step, side, step, side. Then it's step to the angle, back to the angle, back. Step up into the angle, back, and back into the angle. Okay, so spend 3 to 5 minutes doing this silly little exercise of stepping on and off of a very spongy pad. And then if you feel really brave and you want to do it with bare feet, that's even a whole nother challenge. Okay, take your little pad, put it on your little pillow. Okay, I am going to pick up a medium heavy weight. So, you know how we normally start with very light and then we go up? Well, today I want to start with a medium heavy weight for me. So what is that for me? For me, that's going to be either a 12 or a 15, or it's going to be a 9. Okay? So today I'm going to pick up a 12. Just because I think that's about right for me. This is a medium heavy weight for me. So it's a 12-pounder. Okay? So now I'm going to step back and stay with me here. Make it so that you can see what I'm doing. I'll try to describe it in case you can't see your screen very well. I'm going to step forward just like we just did. But for some of you, in stepping forward just now, that move, you know what you did? You know what you did, right? You stepped forward, but you let your body lead you. I want you to keep your body back, okay? Step forward, but don't lead with your head or your chest, okay? So just do that a couple times. So here's my 12 pound and my 12 pound. I'm gonna step forward and say rib cage up, okay? I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna step forward and say rib cage up. Then I'm gonna bend that back knee. Then I'm gonna stay in that position, which is really pushing through my joints in a good way, but my rib cage has to be up. That's number one. When I go to pull these weights right to here, I cannot be leaning out. I'm gonna tuck my chin. I'm gonna take a big deep breath. And this needs to have an effort behind it, meaning it can't be too easy. That's why I said pick up a medium heavy weight for you. And how might else you judge that? Well, when you get to 10 repetitions, if you're struggling a little, that's just about right, okay? So as I'm doing this, one of the habits that I've seen over the years with this type of a lift is, of course, the shoulders are up too high, so drop your shoulders. At the elbow, see, that's why the whole time I'm lifting here, watch. Do you see my elbow? My elbow stays down, pretty close to my stomach, okay? It doesn't come way up, because if it comes way up, then I'm using some other muscles, okay? I wanna use those front muscles. I wanna use my shoulder muscles to stabilize, but not to lift. So I want my arms to get stronger right now. Yeah. Okay, take a breath, come back. And if you were standing in that position the whole time with me, you should have started feeling it in your calf, in some of your muscles, in your leg. See how I stepped out? Then I said rib cage up. Then I'm gonna bend that knee. I'm gonna come down as far as I feel I can. See that? Say rib cage up. And I'm gonna bring those shoulders up and back. And I'm just hanging on to that weight. So a different move, but I'm in a split stance and my shoulder blades are coming up. Take a breath, bring that knee down. Take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Bring that shoulder up around the ears and then let them drop. Up around the ears, let them drop. Stay in that stance. Keep that knee coming down. See how I'm coming down with that back knee? Okay, take a breath. One more, and then come down. Now, take your arms together, press, and then act like you're gonna put them down, but then you don't. So drop the shoulders, take a breath. On the effort, you exhale. So breath, exhale, right there. And see, my back heel is down. It is not off the floor. So I'm bending that back knee. I'm staying upright, staying rib cage up. I'm keeping my elbows in. Exhale. Breath. Bring it back down. Exhale. Breath. Bring it down. Drop your shoulders. Exhale. Bring it down. One more. Here we go. Exhale. Bring it down. Nice. Now bring that leg back up. Okay? Now we're going to go side to side. We're going to bring those arms right here in front. And here's the thing. I haven't said anything about this yet, but keep your wrist in neutral. So anytime you see Marilyn, she will be able to tell you what neutral is, because we worked on it. I have to mess with you, Marilyn. Okay, looky here. See this? I'm stepping wide. I'm gonna take a breath and I'm gonna exhale and pull those right to here, not here. See, I get a little rest. I'm gonna keep them out here. And I'm gonna push and breathe. So now breathe, and now exhale, right here, back down. Exhale, back down. Drop your shoulders. Exhale, back down. Drop your shoulders. Exhale, and back down. 2 more. And back down. Drop your shoulders. Ah! And then come back here and just hold on to them right here. Just hold on to them. And you're gonna do a little tiny ambulation. See this? I'm keeping them just barely on my shoulders. And I'm right here in an ambulation. Take a big deep breath, bring them in. Now, remember when I said put that ball right in your belly button? We'll put these weights, press them right into your chest. Chair width in front of your chair. I have a little pad on my chair. I'm gonna go and sit. See that? So I'm right here. So I just sat down and I will stand up with my weight choice. So for me, it's 12 and 12. So that's about 24 pounds. Okay, so I'm gonna go to stand up. So what am I gonna do first? I'm gonna bring those weights right in here. Okay, that's number 1. So they're close to me. I'm gonna take a big breath and I'm going to squeeze my muscles in order to stand up with a weight load. I am not gonna bounce. I am not gonna swing myself. I'm not gonna sit here and go, ugh, ugh, ugh. You don't wanna do that, ever. We gotta work on your leg strength if that's what you're doing. Most people just need to be trained in how to stand up and how to sit down. Now I'm standing up and sitting down with quite a heavy weight, okay? Drop your shoulders, take a breath. I'm gonna bring those weights right into me, okay? Then when I go to stand up, I'm gonna push where? Into the heels. I'm gonna take a breath, exhale, and stand up, and come back down and sit, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Exhale, breathe in, exhale, breathe in, drop your shoulders, exhale, breathe in, drop your shoulders, exhale, breathe in, and exhale, and breathe in. Make sure you're feeling that you're pushing equally on both heels. Don't push one-sided. Drop your shoulders, back down. Just 3 more, stay with me. I'm doing every one of these with you. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. 1 more. And breath, and bring it down. Yay. Okay. Now, we're gonna change these weights a little bit. Now I'm going to 9. So for me, I'm going just 1 more lighter. Okie dokie. Big breath. We're gonna sit right there. And I'm gonna take this weight and I'm just gonna turn my shoulder here. I'm gonna turn it here, okay? Now kind of stay with me on this. I have a lighter weight, but it's still in a medium range. Depending on what you've got going on with your shoulders, make it very light or as heavy as you want. Drop your shoulders, open at the hip a little. Take a breath, bring the weight right up and out. Got it? And then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to go to the top of my head, and I'm going to open out. Then I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to bring it down, and I'm going to open out. and I'm gonna bring it in. And I'm gonna open out, and I'm gonna bring it in. So what would I watch on you if I were with you this morning, right now? I would take a look at your lines that you're making, okay? That you're breathing, that your shoulders are down, and I really would like to have you open your hip just a little bit, like barely an inch. See how I opened it? See, this is totally 90 degrees, then this is closing, and it goes, 80, 70, way down there. Got it? Okay. Take a breath, drop your shoulders, bring the other weight right here, careful. And here is where I would watch for the line that is drawn from my wrist and my fist to my elbow to my shoulder. Then I'll come in here. So down lower, like we're doing right now, see how I'm leaned out? So I'm using my core, my stomach muscles. Just because I leaned out about 1 inch, I'm bringing those abdominal muscles in, and I'm keeping my elbow pretty low as I do this hinge move with the elbow. Then I'm gonna go up to just to the top of my head, bring the elbow in, take a big breath, lean out. I got make our tummies work. Okay, bring it back in. Take a big breath, open, take a big breath. Bring it right in here, bring it right back out. Don't flare your elbow. Should be right in line with your shoulder. And then bring it down and bring it down, okay? So in review, I'm gonna leave these weights right here. And all I did was a low shoulder hinge. Then I took it up to just shoulder height. I didn't go way up here. I went here, and I brought it in, and I opened it, okay? And my hip was open just a little bit. See, maybe opened to, 95, okay? Maybe to 100. Then I just took this one, and I opened it, and I brought it back. Now, if you felt or heard cracking and crinkling, yeah, a lot of us have shoulder issues, but here's the deal. You gotta keep using and moving. And so let pain be your direction. And we're gonna try to do some strengthening through the shoulders today, along with our legs, but especially our shoulders and arms, in case you haven't already noticed. Okay, so now I have 9. I'm gonna close my hip, then I'm gonna open my hip. So, what everybody will see is they'll see my head and chest going down, and so you'll say, "Oh, that's what we're gonna do." No, I want to see you close your hip. That's what I want to see. Your shoulders stay down. This load that you have in your hands, if you will keep a good extension as you close your hip, then you won't cave on me and round your back or put your head and chest down way below your hips. That is not what I want you to do. Then I'm going to pull myself back, okay? So this is a very gentle but a very effective work for our backs. But you have to be the one to line yourself up properly because I'm not there. So I'm just telling you, drop your shoulders as you're coming down, closing your hips. I shouldn't say come down, closing your hips. You keep your chin tucked. You keep turning your chin from side to side. And then as you come up, you see, you make your back extensors do the work of coming up. See here? I'm right here, and I'm not in an extreme position is the point that you need to hear. Drop my shoulders, rib cage up, hip hinge, shine your taillights, keep your chin tucked, turn your chin from side to side. You're pushing pretty hard into the heels. Turn your chin. Now, Keep those shoulders down and pull back. Yes. Yes. Now do one thing, change up for me. Slip one foot up and one foot back a little. You got it? So it's like a split stance. So now say ribcage up and push down in that position, and then pull the front toe up, and you're down there, and then you're going to pull and come back. Keep that toe up. You can tap it a little bit, but then come right back down. Now, right now, say ribcage up, pull all the way back. Then switch, switch. Take a breath, drop your shoulders. Here we go. Push. Yeah, take a breath. And then pull through the back extensors. It's a gentle but very effective move. I'm not turning. I'm not overly loaded. I'm not going down too far. Just enough, right to there, and then pulling back. Okay? So this is a really good move if you're paying attention to your positioning. Okay? Then you bring those hands right up. Now we're going to address between the shoulder blades. And that is a crucial place for anybody, A, that have had shoulder girdle issues, or osteoporosis, or arthritis. Any one of those. Because we have to bring our shoulders forward to open those muscles, then we have to bring them back, right? So we don't want to squeeze them too hard. So drop the shoulders, then lift them to the ears. Then go back with them, then come forward with them. This is where you round the top part of the shoulders and the top part of the back, okay? So now let's put some weight into that, and let's put an angle on it. So I'm going to change my angle. That will affect how I use my shoulder girdle, especially my trapezius, which is this upper back muscle, and my shoulder girdle. So it's going to change everything. So be aware of that. So I've got a medium weight, 9 and 9. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to say rib cage up. Then I'm going to pull those shoulders back. And I'm going to try to squeeze a pencil between my shoulders. Okay? Then I'm going to go out a little tiny bit and come down. Then I'm going to bring my shoulders to my ears, drop the shoulders. Then I'm going to pull. And I'm using a bent elbow. Okay, so you're pushing into your feet. Take a breath. Pull those shoulder blades together. And down and around. Here we go. Pull back. Shoulder blades come together. Down and around. Here we go. Pull back. Shoulder blades together. Down and around. Woo! All the way open. Here we go. It's not, I don't mean all the way open. I mean, you're just going to bring them out a little bit. You're going to come up, and then you're just going to do a little turn out, a little push. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Ah. Take a breath. All the way around. Take a breath. All the way around. Take a breath. All the way around. And come back up. Okay? Now we're going to go from in the middle of the shoulders to the back of the arm. So you ready? So I'm going to lean in again. Bring those elbows right here beside me. And then push back. And I'm going to hang on back there and do little tiny pulses. So I'm breathing, keeping my shoulders down, contracting that muscle against that weight. It's a breath. It's a breath. It's a breath. Keep your shoulders down. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. Just push it back there. Just open the arm right there. Open the arm. Drop your shoulders. Open the arm. 2 more. One more. Go. Yes. I know. I should have put them down. Okay, I'll put them down. But I'm going to stand up with my weight. So remember your principles of standing up, right? Bring your weights close to you. Equalize onto your heels. Come up. Okay? Big breath. Yes. Now, I am going to go to heavy weights. So what is heavy for you? So we have all kinds of people here in the class that have all kinds of challenges. If you're breathing, you have a challenge. Okay, that's the way it is. First of all, I'm going to open up my hands, give them a little break. I didn't mean that to be funny. I'm going to go to the side and pull my toe right up. That's it. But when I pull my toe up as I go from side to side, I don't do it like this. See, I don't do it like this. I really extend my back. I rib cage up it. I shift and then I pull my toe up as I pull my fingers. Pull my toe as I pull my fingers. Drop your shoulders. Yes, drop your shoulders. Yes. Shake out those hands. Now be ready. So you remember what we did on the get-go, right? I started you on this little balance pad. And I am just encouraging you, if you want to keep your independence, spend a few minutes every day working on this little pad. Some of these moves will come to you. You'll figure out some other moves to do. But we're going to load ourselves. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to do a carry. So I'm going to get the heaviest weight that I can possibly manage, because this is going to be a total body load, but primarily it's going to be on the legs. So I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to hold my weight. So I want it to be pretty heavy, okay? So I have my weight gloves on. I'm picking up those weights. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to put one foot on that pillow. I'm going to come up right here. And you see the weights in my hands, even though they're 18 and 18, I'm not gripping. They're hanging off my fingertips, okay? So I shift. I act like I'm going to bring my foot up, but then I don't. See that? You got to get ready. So drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Do that little back and forth. And then when you feel you're ready, do not lock your front knee. Take a breath and bring your foot up and over. Okay? That can be very scary to some people. So when you come back, you just come here and then you come here. Okay? So just doing this with a heavier weight, keeping a good posture. Whoa! This is teaching your reactivity, because what if you catch your toe? Would that end it all for you? It could. For people, it could put them on the floor. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to put on my foot on the pad, and then I'm going to step off. So if the move from front to back is way too much with too heavy of a weight, then you come to the pillow. See, I'm going to change. So I'm going to come here, rib cage up. I'm going to put my foot on the pillow, and then I'm going to step off. That's perfectly fine. See that? Right there and right there. And if you get very good with very specific neutral posture being held with heavy weights, you are training all kinds of systems right now, especially if you're stepping on a squishy pad. Some of you may not be able to do that. It might be too scary with a heavy weight. Then don't. Just step forward and back on the floor. Step forward and back, just like you were going to carry something. See this? See? Just say forward and back and carry. Working on the pillow will be an added challenge. And good for you if you did it. And it's no big deal if you didn't. In your rack, and a little tip, always when you put your weights away, make sure you channel them all the way to the heaviest weight because you don't want anybody fooling around with them. Anyway, take a big breath, check out your arms a little bit, and I hope you were able to follow that in a good way. Bye-bye.